Hi, this is Ernie again. I'm the guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. Today, I want to introduce you my new investment. You don't necessarily have to follow, and I actually encourage you to not follow because my entire video is about not telling you what to go buy, but rather how to do research, how to read charts, how to determine whether it's something that you want to invest in or not. So I want you to watch the video and understanding the logics behind it so that you can replicate and not necessarily follow my trades. So without discussing too much into detail, my new investment is biotechnology. And let me explain to you first, using the chart, why I decided to even look at this. So S&P 500 Biotech ETF, there's something called XBI. This is not the one that I'm going to use. But as you can see from a year ago, this is something that used to trade around $100. I think $103. And it has a lot of biotech companies. And you could go up here and say, yeah, it used to be about $105. 52-week low, 66 cents. And this is when that bottom was hit. And then eventually it decided to make way up. So what I wanted to look at was, is this breaking the trend line or no? So let's draw a trend line from here, top of that, to another peak. So you can see that it has never broken. It has never broken the trend line, right? So that's the peak to another peak. But every time it touches that trend line, it's coming down. Touches the trend line, is coming down. Touches the trend line, coming down. But over here, it decided to pop above the trend line. So I decided to look into it and say, is this a good time? And for those who are wondering, does the trend line really work? If you look at Oklo, by the way, I exited Oklo. I bought it at like $33 and below, and ended up selling it at $51. So I got a very good return out of it. Using put options, so I did not even have to spend my own money, and I ended up making even more money, right? I did the same thing with SOLX. XOLX is almost $20 right now. And if you look at the trend line, how it broke up, people who have followed my trades, you doubled your money. QBTS doubled your money. So I believe that there's a good chance that this is gonna continue to go up and break the trend line, and I might be able to get a good return. Again, this is saved. This is a SOXL. As you can see, it's 1984. This is the old trend line that I drew. The peak, starting from there, it never broke that trend, And over here is starting to break that trend, and now it has gone up. I can go chart after chart where I have been able to make successful trade or investment, so that I'll be able to make good amount of money on this. Again, Oklo was another one. QBTS was another one. So I'm going to make an investment, or I made an investment yesterday. And how did I do it? I'm going to use Direxion. 3X fund. I know you guys must be thinking, man, this Ernie guy takes a lot of risk, is doing a lot of risky things. Because when I look at, and you can look at the same chart. If you go to more, and you can draw the same trend line from the peak to peak, right? It never breaks the trend line. And then of course, it broke the trend line recently, right? Right up here. It broke the trend line. And the beauty of this is that when you go to the options, and today's Thursday, so there's only 2 more days left. Look at the amount of money that they give you on $56. So right now it's about $58. but $2 below. $2 is about 10% move. You're still able to get more than 1.3% or 1.4%. So if you move this to 12 strike price, you can go down to 1550 and still be able to get a decent amount of premium. So what did I do? Same thing. I sell puts. Of course, you need to have enough money. You need to have enough money in your account, enough cash to buy those shares if the price goes below 55. But you can sell put options and use that money, and something that I always do, I use that money to buy more shares. So as you can see, I sold 55 put and I got 60 cents. I sold 10 of them because I have enough money to sell 10 contracts. 10 contract means you need to have $55,000. And how much did I get? A little over 1%. So I got close to $600. And what did I do? I bought 10 shares at 58.08 and I ended up getting a little bit of cash. And today I sold calls on one of my other holdings. Not that much money, but I ended up buying 6 more shares at 56.51. So, and that's the amount of money I spent. This is one of my baby accounts, the LLC account. In my other ones where I have a lot more cash, I am being very aggressive selling 100 contracts, meaning you need to have $500,000 to do this. And with $500,000, you're going to get about $6,000. Yes, if you have $500,000, close to 1% is 5,000. But with this, when you trade it on a Wednesday, right? So you don't even get a full value. I was able to get about 1.2% return this week, and using that money again. This is what I call house money. Using that money to buy shares, knowing that most likely this will continue to go up based on the technical analysis. Some might be asking, what's even in it? So here's a quick sample of what it has. A lot of companies like Amgen is in there. Some of the companies that you might not be familiar with, but they have so many in it. So here you go. Exact Science, 1.89%. Blueprint, Gilead, probably something that you guys are very familiar with. Let's do 30 pages. Yeah, Amgen is in here. AbbVie is in here. Moderna is in there. Regeneron, very well-known BioMarin. There are so many companies in here. For those who are wondering, oh, what if this goes down to zero? All these companies to simultaneously go down to zero, that's not really possible unless we have some black swan event where all the biotechnology companies all disappear or go bankrupt at the same time. So for me, based on technical analysis, I believe that there's a lot of upside or some upside depending on when you're willing to sell. And this is going to be my next bet. So I'm going to put a significant amount of money, hoping that this will go up to maybe $72, maybe $74. And that's going to be my exit point. Hopefully this gives you a good sense of how to use charting to identify opportunities. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. So please comment if you have any specific questions, or if you have anything sensitive, please comment through or send me messages through direct messaging. Please like, repost, and tell your friends so that your friends can also make money as well. Hopefully this was useful, and I will see you guys tomorrow or over the weekend.